Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and we're going to talk about Hawkgirl because people are like, what the hell? Why is there a Latina girl playing Hawkgirl? Which, again, I blame this on DC, and I blame this on the fault of people who don't read the characters. And the fact that they kind of made Hawkgirl and Hawkman's, entire history kind of complicated and fucked up. But what I need people to understand is that there are three major versions of Hawkgirl. You have the Shayera Hall, you have Shayera Hall, and you have Kendra Sandra. Now, Isabel Garcia is supposed to be playing Hawkgirl. Now, if you guys don't know who that is, she played Dora the Explorer, and she played the girl in Transformers The Last Night, I believe, which most people didn't watch neither one of those movies. So when people try to talk about how great of an actress she is, I'm like, is she though? Because if people only can talk about Dora the Explorer live action movie, and most people didn't go and watch Dora the Explorer live action movie, is she really all that great of an actress? You know what I'm saying? If that's your most notable role, is it really? Is it really? Dang it. I was trying my best not to snort that, but oh well. Crack kills, y'all. Crack kills. But anyway, no. In all seriousness, James Gunn announced that we're going to have a whole bunch of heroes, and Hawkgirl kind of, because everybody was like, oh God, here we go again, another ginger being erased and stuff like that. And then of course some people are like, no, it's not. They're not erasing Kendra. They're not erasing Hawkgirl's race or anything. Is because there's another Hawkgirl called Kendra Sandra, who is the great niece of the original Hawkman and Hawkgirl, and Shayera Hall's soul is inside of Kendra Sandra. But now, thanks to DC Rebirth, Shayera Hall is her own person now, and Kendra is now able to be her own person without being tied to Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Well, now renamed Hawkwoman, if that makes sense. Again, Thanagarian, human, reincarnation, life, all that good stuff. So it's a little complicated, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So, anyway, there are some people who trying to be like, well, hopefully she's not named Shayera. And then I was arguing with this fool on social media talking about, well, it doesn't really matter and stuff like that. Well, actually, it does matter. Stop talking about just because yo ass don't care about the character, it does matter. Well, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. The race and gender of characters do matter. That's why we're getting a lot of major backlash because of the unnecessary race swaps and sexuality swap, gender swaps of characters. Yes, when it comes to Hawkgirl, she does have two major races that you can go on, but a lot of people do not know about the Latina version, which is Kendra Sandra. People know Shayera Hall, the Thanagarian version of the character, because she was popularized in Justice League, and Justice League is still remembered to this day. And yes, she was voiced by Maria Cartaneras, which is the mom from Wizard of Waverly Place, if you guys remember. She did voice Shayera, but just because she voiced Shayera does not mean that Shayera Hall herself is Latina. She is a white alien character. She was just voiced by a Latina woman, because remember, in voice acting, you don't have to actually be the race of those characters. Back in the day before 2016, where you got to be the race, the gender, and the sexuality of the character in order to voice them, and it's completely stupid. It is completely asinine when it comes to that nonsense, because that was another thing that people were going on about, talking about, well, because the actress who voiced her is is Latina, that means that Shayera Hall by default. No, it doesn't, because that's how voice acting was. If you had a good voice, then you would play the character no matter what. You know what I'm saying? We've seen black people play a lot of, there's a lot of legendary black voice actors and Latina voice actors who have voiced white characters before. That doesn't make those characters automatically Latina or Latino. So stop with the nonsense. And again, with Kendra Sandra, which a lot of people do not know that she is a Latino woman. So therefore, Hawkgirl, the new Hawkgirl, is Latina. So therefore, they can actually get a diverse person to play the character, kind of like Blue Beetle. Everybody know the first two Blue Beetles, Dan Grant and Ted Kord, white guys, and then they decided to go with the Latino Blue Beetle, the third Blue Beetle. So basically, we're going with the third Hawkgirl, yes, or the second Hawkgirl, depending on your timeline and your comic book history. So when people are talking about, when people are like wondering why Hawkgirl is Latina, it's because they're using the Kendra Sandra. I will hope James Gunn wouldn't be stupid enough to call her Shayera Hall, because people are going to be like, bitch, you got one. It's called Kendra Saunders. Even though it's kind of funny that people want to always go to the last introduction of a character, when some of these characters, in order for them to be introduced, you have to introduce the characters that they are the legacy of, because Hawkgirl and Blue Beetle are legacy versions of the same characters that took up those mantles, and either a lot of tragedy happened in order for them to become those characters. But at the same time, another thing too is DC is about to push Hawkgirl right about now, because she's supposed to have a solo run coming up soon. So of course James Gunn's going to follow suit and try to push her out there, because it's going to be the first time like Kendra is going to be like standing on her own without having the soul of her great aunt or anybody else. It's just going to be her being Hawkgirl on her own in Metropolis, starting a new life and seeing what that's like being Hawkgirl, while Shayera Hall, Hawkwoman, is married with Hawkman, and they're on the JSA right now. So that's a little bit of the complication things. I know it's kind of complicated, but I kind of wanted to get on here, make a little quick video explaining that yes, there is a Latino Hawkgirl. Shayera Hall is not Latino. Hawkgirl, the Latino one, is actually Kendra Sandra, the great niece of the original Hawkman and Hawkgirl. And I could get into more complications, but I don't think you guys really need to know much about that historical history thing, because I believe I did another video about Hawkgirl a long time ago. So if you guys want, you can find out that one. I don't know if it's going to be linked below, but I'm gonna try my best to link it below. But because you guys know how I be like doing a lot of this stuff live and on the go, so we'll see and stuff like that. But yeah, for those who are worried that they're ginger-siding the character or they're race swapping Hawkgirl, no, most likely they're just getting the diverse Hawkgirl, which is Kendra Sandra's, who they've been trying to popularize a little bit more over the white Shayera Hall alien creature. You know what I'm saying? And now with DC Rebirth, they also made it to the point where her wings are metal, like archangel wings. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.